Hello, my name's Charlotte and I teach the Children's and Family Yoga at Ironstone Wellbeing in Kettering. Welcome to this week's video. This week we're going to be looking at nocturnal animals from around the world. So there are some animals that you might not know, but they're from all over the world: Australia, America, Mexico, and animals from our country too. So any that you don't know, have a little Google after the session to see what they look like. Okay, so off we go. So first of all, we're going to start in Firefly Pose. So for Firefly Pose, put your feet apart and have your hands by your sides. So we're standing nice and tall, as if our arms are our wings, okay? For Firefly Pose. Excellent, well done. Then we turn to the side, ready for Owl Pose. Now we have owls in this country too. So we stand nice and tall and we take one leg back for Owl Pose, as if we're swooping through the air. Remember, you can use a chair or the wall to keep your balance if you need to. Lovely, and make sure you've swapped legs. Excellent, that was Owl Pose. After Owl Pose, we have Koala Pose. So for Koala Pose, take our arms out to the side, cross over at the elbows, and then dip the elbows down and hold hands. And then we cross the same leg over as the arm underneath, and we come down. Now you can keep your leg uncrossed, or you can tuck your foot all the way around and then see if you can sit right down. Excellent, as if we're a koala hugging onto a tree. And then straighten the legs, release the arms, the same on the other side. So this time, put the opposite arm underneath, opposite leg over the top, and wrap your foot round if you can, and sit down into Koala Pose. Koalas are in Australia. Lovely, well done. And then after our Koala Pose, we're going into Bush Baby Pose. Bush Baby is another animal that is in Australia. So we have our feet apart, hands above our heads, and we sit down as if we're sitting into an imaginary chair for Bush Baby Pose. Excellent, well done. Bush babies have huge eyes. Sitting down into our Bush Baby Pose and straightening the legs. After Bush Baby, we're going to Bat Pose. We get lots of bats in this country when the sun goes down, especially if you live near some water. They like the insects that fly over the water. So for Bat Pose, we're just going to fold all the way forwards into Bat Pose. Have your fingertips on the floor. Excellent. Keep your legs straight if you can. If not, bend your knees. Well done, as if we're hanging from a tree. Well done, that is Bat Pose. After Bat Pose, we're going into Toad Pose. Now, toads are mostly nocturnal. So we have our feet fairly wide, hands together, and we come down into Toad Pose. They do sometimes come out during the day, but mostly they are nocturnal. Well done for Toad Pose, excellent. After our Toad Pose, we're going into Aardvark Pose. So we come down onto our hands and knees and up into our Aardvark Pose. Lovely, well done. After Aardvark Pose, we're going to lift one leg in the air for Skunk Pose, with our tail up high, letting that smell out to warn off any predators. So lifting our leg up high. Well done. Excellent. After Skunk Pose, we're coming down into Wombat Pose. So on our hands and knees like this is Wombat Pose. Excellent. Well done. Now have a little wriggle. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Well done. This is Wombat Pose. After Wombat Pose, we're going into Fox Pose. So we're taking one leg backwards and the opposite arm forwards. Well done. And then the other side, one leg back, opposite arm forwards. Excellent. And down. Well done. After Fox Pose, we're going into Cricket Stretch. Now for Cricket Stretch, you need to go into Plank Pose first of all, and then bring one leg forwards, step that leg back, then bring the other leg forwards. So this is Cricket Pose. Well done. And the other leg. Excellent. So that's Cricket Pose. After Cricket Pose, we're going into Panther Pose. And panthers hang from trees. Well done. And stealthily move around at night time. This is our Panther Pose. Well done. After Panther Pose, we're going into Badger Pose. Now, Badger is an animal that we get in this country. So for Badger Pose, we come all the way down and curl up into a ball. Breathing nice and slowly. Well done. After Badger Pose, we're going into Hedgehog Pose. We're going to imagine we've got those prickles sticking up. So we pop our head down and we lift our bottom up. The Hedgehog Pose. And come all the way up nice and slowly. Well done. After Hedgehog Pose, we're going into Lion Pose. Now, I looked this one up, and lions are diurnal, which means they come out in the day and at night, but they are mostly nocturnal because they're like cats that we have as pets. Their eyesight is better in the dark, so they do a lot of their hunting at night, so they are awake a lot at night, which is why during the day they laze around and lie around a lot. Okay, so for Lion Pose, we're going to sit like this. We're going to do our lion's breath. So we breathe in through our nose, and when we breathe out, we stick our tongue out and breathe out. Excellent. Well done. Breathe in. Go. Now this is lion's breath. It helps to calm us down, get rid of any of those angry feelings that we have sometimes stuck down here, it feels like, doesn't it? And we want to get rid of them all so that we can feel nice and happy. So breathe in through your nose. Go. Breathe out. Excellent. Well done. Now, when I teach that in my classes, nobody can keep a straight face. Everyone is smiling at the end of it. So hopefully you feel a little bit happier after that. Now, after Lion Pose, we're going into Raccoon Pose. So we come up onto our knees. Pop your knees together. So try and keep your body in a nice straight line. So you haven't got your shoulders forward or you're not arching your back. Try and keep everything nice and straight. So it's like our first pose, Mountain Pose or Firefly Pose, but it's on our knees. So try and get your balance nice and still. Weight in the middle. Well done. Now we're going into Moth Pose. Okay, so moths are a bit like butterflies that aren't as colourful, and they come out at night. And we pop our feet together, hold onto your big toes, and we flap our wings. Well done. Excellent. So this is Moth Pose. You've probably seen them usually at the bathroom window. They tend to go to bathrooms quite often. Maybe it's because we usually have our bathroom windows open. So flapping our wings of our moth. And then after Moth Pose, we're going into Crab Pose. Now, again, I looked this one up. There are lots of different species of crab, but there are some that are nocturnal. So we come and have our hands pointing forwards. Feet are hip distance apart, and we lift our belly up. Now, you can look forwards, or you can tip your head back. It's entirely up to you. Okay, for Crab Pose. Excellent, coming all the way down. After crab stretch, we're going into Sloth Pose. So we lie on our backs. Now, when I go into schools, lots of children do this pose when I ask them to think of an animal. So hold on to your big toes as if we're holding onto a tree like a sloth, and have your feet pointing at the ceiling, knees up by your armpits. It feels nice here to rock from side to side as well. Feels nice on the back. So rocking from side to side. Well done. Excellent. And then just place the feet down. Our last pose is Possum Pose. Now, opossums are from America and Mexico. So a normal possum is from Australia, but an opossum is from America and Mexico. So for opossum, we're going to lie down, nice and still, backs of the hands on the mat, breathing through our nose nice and slowly. We're relaxing down on the ground. Now breathe in through your nose. Have a big breath out through your mouth. Again, breathe in through your nose. Big breath out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Now just lie nice and still, listening to the nighttime sounds, those nocturnal animals. Maybe when you're in bed tonight you might hear some of those animals like the owl. Breathing nice and slowly. And then carefully opening your eyes, bending the legs. Just hug the knees in and rock from side to side. And then come and sit up on your mat. Well done, everybody. Thank you for joining me this week. It's been a pleasure to have you. Let's pop our hands together. And before we go, remember we say that very special word. Breathe in first, close the eyes. Breathe out. Namaste. Excellent. I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.